he's ended, but I don't think I've seen Ray this weekend. Jay Lawrence has ended, but of course I'm looking through the full program. We're ready for the lights. We got 3, 4, 5 reds. It goes out there. And Demon Damo Rees there. It was Lockie Epps is getting a strong charge, but it's going to be Demon Damo. No, indeed, that was Richard Cooper's possibly going to lead them into turn 1 there, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, just trying to catch a glimpse on the Ctas replay, but it is going to be the letter C of Richard Cooper already out in front. And then we go back to the 92 Damon Rees. We've got Lachlan Epps. He was running a good race yesterday and unfortunately had a crash. He's out there in 3rd place. We've got Alistair Hugenbosen there in 4th place at the moment. Sloane Frost and Daniel Medham, they got good starts as well. And Mitchell Rees, he did a bit of late race charging yesterday, but unfortunately with a crash in qualifying didn't quite get a time, so he's had a big moment out of the left-hander as well. So we go racing with Richard Cooper and Damon Rees. It's going to be a great one. 10-lapper here, Spider.
Yeah, and Damon Rees was on the big red Honda last weekend, but has changed that livery to a beautiful carbon fibre black, and it looks absolutely splendid. Mitch is on the red one. Mitch not having a strong weekend this weekend. He doesn't do a lot of miles around Manfeild, and it's really, really tough for him this weekend. So just down on the power, but the important thing is to bring it home and score those points. We'll see them on fire at the Cemetery Circuit on Boxing Day. Since 1951, they've been racing around those streets. Richard Cooper in a class of his own almost, but we've got Demon Damo in behind him, so it's Cooper, Rees, then Lockie Epps, then Alistair Hugenbosen. So in 5th place we've got Dan Medham, Jake Lewis, Scotty Moyer, Jaden Carrick on the 55 machine from Wanganui, 55 Sloane Frost, Lee Johnson, Mitch Rees, David Sharp and James Hugenbosen. He's had a crash last weekend, James did, at Taupo, and he's carrying an injured shoulder, and of course you imagine what it takes to muscle a superbike round here at any race or at any racetrack. So that's what James Hugenbosen is suffering from. Looks like Damon Rees is closing up the gap there, Brad Ritchie.
He definitely got out of the left-hand hairpin very, very well, and Richard Cooper just done enough down the straight, but look out for Damon Rees. He got 2nd place yesterday. He is not going to want to be 2nd place again, so our points leader at the moment is still Damon Rees, but Richard Cooper, fantastic to have our BSB Superstock 1000 champion come and join us for the International Series, and already with a race win yesterday. Fantastic to see him leading it well at the moment. Lachlan Epps, he is in 3rd place, but coming for him is our defending Superbike champion Daniel Medham. He's going to go up the inside and maybe look at a change of position there. I think we've got a new man in 3rd or 4th place there, so just made a bit of a mess of it, just coming a bit hot, but Daniel Medham, the man on the move. He was in the 105s last time around, so fantastic to see Daniel Medham mixing it with these top boys. Didn't have a great weekend last weekend, Spider, but back on the pace this weekend.
Yeah, he come to Manfeild though as the current Suzuki, current Formula 1 and outright lap record holder. That fell 4 times yesterday. I think Richard Cooper got it, then Damon Rees, then Lockie Epps, and Damon Rees walked away at the end of the race with a 104.659. The quickest lap at the moment is a 105.177. So I'm not too sure. I think the track's a little bit colder today. I'm not sure we're going to see a lap record, but in the meantime, everyone's charging out there. Breakaway from Richard Cooper in the front, the British man. Great to hear his interview yesterday, and he says he's going to repeat what he did today. So a couple of birds flying there on the Go Media corner. That's going to play havoc with the guys just not wanting to bump into them. Only small birds, I think they're gone though. Brad.
Yeah, here we go, the update as they cross the line. Richard Cooper, Damon Rees, Lachlan Epps is still in 3rd place, Daniel Medham, and Alistair Hugenbosen, that's 5th place. Jake Lewis on the 2nd of the Blue Crew Yamahas, he's right there in 6th place, so look out for him. Sloane Frost, and then Scotty Moyer with Jaden Carrick and Lee Johnson rounding out our top 10, so all on here. And the infield definitely looks like Damon Rees has got the infield sorted through the S's, out of turn 4, up in turn 5, but Richard Cooper's just got that little bit of X factor on the second half of this Manfeild circuit at the moment, I think, Spider.
Yeah, definitely. Sloane Frost is on the fight there as well. Sloane Frost, he's in an uncharacteristic 7th spot there. Jaden Carrick swapped place with Scotty Moyer. Scotty Moyer struggling this weekend. Last weekend he had the flu and just really shouldn't have even, didn't even want to be at the track, but he had to do it. And this weekend he's still having a tough weekend. Is that a change of position there for 5th and 6th? Dan Medham, who's that on his tail? That is Alistair Hugenbosen. So it's Suzuki versus Yamaha, the Blue Crew Yamaha rider of Alistair Hugenbosen, the number 43, a bike number that he's run through. He's had New Zealand Superbike Championships win as well. Won't be doing the Cemetery Circuit, but in a few weeks' time he'll be doing the New Zealand Superbike Championships. So into turn 1. The laps are into the 4s, a 4.926. We're still 0.3 of a second off the lap record, but the fastest man on the track and opening up that lead even more is Richard Cooper, the British Super Stock 1000 champion, but he's been hunted and hunted and hunted by Damon Rees. In third place, Lockie Epis there, doing 2 classes today. Somebody's breathing hard. There's been a bit of a drama there.
Yeah, so here we go, the update, Richard Cooper, Damon Rees, that's battle for first and second. There's only half a second in that at the moment. Then we go back to Lockie Epis, who's in a lonely old ride for third, but coming for him, Daniel Medham now up into fourth place ahead of Al Hoogie. So Al and Dan having a great little battle. They're coming out of Higgins down the back straight at the moment. And then we go there with Jake Lewis and Sloane Frost. That's a battle there for 6th and 7th place. So there's battles all over the track, and this is fantastic. So already going to be at half race distance. They cross the line, 5 laps to go, and Richard Cooper continues to tick the laps off here, Spider.
Indeed, and Rob Lewis, long-time top New Zealand rider, run the number 29. This is his son Jake, and it's good to see Jake grabbing the number 29 and respecting the family tradition. And I know Jake's been New Zealand Supersport 600 champion. I know he's one of the most thorough racers out there. All these guys are top class, very, very thorough about that pack tightens up there on the infield. There's 3 of them there. We've got first and second and third spread out a bit. We go back from Lockie Epis. That's Dan Medham, Alistair Hugenboos and Sloane Frost. You can see that battle coming out of the hairpin there. Sloane with the orange leathers there loses a bit of pace, but right now it's Alistair Hugenboos hunting down Dan Medham, the former lap record holder here, also riding the Gixxer Cup, went to Europe this year and unfortunately had a practice crash at the Isle of Man and broke his leg, so he hasn't done much riding recently, so he's sort of still finding some form, but charging hard down the back straight, around the big go media. I'm going to say that gap at the front is actually closing up. What do we have? We had a gap of half a second, 0.502 second, 168 k's an hour average speed. In fact, though, it has its open up 0.735 of a second, so 168 k's an hour average lap speed. The ton, the magic 100 mile an hour mark, is about 161, so they're over the ton. In fact, what have we got? 168, 168, 167, 167, 167, 168 for Sloane Frost, so he's now the fastest man on the track. In fact, he's put in at 104.771. It's quite often he does that. All the bikes out there are over the magic 100 mile an hour thing. So a big moment there, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, just Daniel Medham just got taken by Alistair Hugenboos into the left-hander, so that's now a three-way fight. Sloane Frost, the fastest man on the track, making that a full-on battle. That's 4th, 5th and 6th place. So we see the 2 out in front. Richard Cooper, he was in the 104.8s last time round, so that's great pace around here for someone who's just turned up to the track for the first time in his life. Damon Rees right there in second, but that gap just drifting off a little bit. It's about the same as it was a lap ago, but we're going to have 3 laps to go when they cross the line. Lockie Epis still in 3rd place, and Daniel Medham still holding out Al Hoogie and Sloane Frost. I know Alistair Hugenboos's gone up into 4th place there, so that's a change of position, I think, as well.
It always fascinates me when you get these internationals coming out. We've got Estelle LeBlanc in the sidecar and a number of them here, and the likes of Richard Cooper, how they learn a track so quickly. Of course, you go to Taupo. Taupo's a lot, there's just a lot of corners there, a little bit hard to learn. But even then, Manfeild, you know, when you get guys out here competing against guys that have done years or even decades here, Richard Cooper, mate, look at the skill he's brought to Manfeild in the Suzuki International Series. So the lead dropped about 0.1 of a second, but I think Richard Cooper's got this under control. There was very little in it there, and I think he's just going to ride it to the line. So that's 1st and 2nd, I think, taken care for. Lachlan Epis is about 10 bike lengths ahead of Alistair Hugenboos. In fact, as I say that, Hugenboos closes up there on the Blue Crew Yamaha, a little bit stronger down the back straight. He's in the slipstream. Here he goes. He's coming through there on the inside. It's a braking duel, and he gets it. So it is now Alistair Hugenboos rounds up the podium with 3 laps to go coming across the line. There'll be 2 laps to go. Cooper, Damon Rees, and then it's Alistair Hugenboos, Lachlan Epis there. Dan Medham comes through there. Dan Medham's coming through there. There's 4 of them going into Toyota. Oh my God, this is exciting stuff. I was going to go and get an energy drink, but I don't need one right now. Look at that, it's all on now. We've got 2 laps to go. Brad Ritchie, you got any money on this game for the 3rd on the podium? Oh
no, it's anyone's at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. Al Hoogie, he's in on a hard charge. He's managed to get in front of this group, and I think in front of this group's where you want to be. There's a lot of paint swapping. Lachlan Epis just went from 3rd to 5th place in the space of 1 corner. He's not going to want to stay there for long. And you got Sloane Frost, he's got the fastest lap of the race. So this is all on here. There's 4 of them going down the centre straight here at Manfeild, and this is anyone's to round out the podium at the moment.
Okay, looking over to Higgins there. The bike's coming in, that lead bike. Richard Cooper on the Suzuki. Damon Rees on the Honda. I think this one is done and dusted as they charge down there into the final quarter. We go back. Alistair Hugam's got a good solid third place. And then it is, I think, Lachlan Epps there. No, I think Lachlan Epps has been pushed back a bit. That's Dan Medham there in fourth place. Here's the white flag. Dan Medham back there in fourth place there. In behind him is, we're going to look at the, that is indeed Epps, and then Sloane Frost. Sloane Frost.
Dan's having a look up the inside into Toyota. I think he might have taken the line away and definitely got the move done. So new man on the podium, Daniel Medham, but Al Hoogie right on the back wheel as they go into the S's. This is all on here. We'll keep our eyes on the battle for the lead, but that is still over 0.7 of a second. So it's the battle for the third we're looking at, and it's Daniel Medham now ahead of Al Hoogie. And there we go, Lachlan Epps having a look in the left-hander, not quite. I think he's going to tilt it in there. Look at that, Lockie Epps showing his class, but just goes in a bit hot and undercut there from Al Hoogie. So what a great bit of racing this is. Exactly what the fans have come to see, Spider.
And here comes Sloane Frost out breaking Lachlan Epps. Will he hold it in there? The longer line sometimes better. No, he pushes Lockie Epps back into sixth place there. So down that long straight. In fact, where's the lead two bikes? We've got to look at this four-way battle. We've got to acknowledge Richard Cooper coming through there. Richard Cooper comes round that big sweeper with Damon Rees behind. That's where the checkered flag, but there's still four people in there coming on to the front straight. Who's it going to be? Dan Medham's in the front of that and on the podium, and then Alistair Hugenboozem, Sloane Frost, Lachlan Epps. What a sensational ride there. And we see young Jake Lewis in position seventh. Remember, all these are provisional for half an hour afterwards, so we're only giving the results that we see it as. Jaden Carrick goes through there in 55, Mitch Shrees 62. You know, way back in ninth place, and he's still doing 5.5s. That's an outstanding ride to Mitch Shrees. Hope he gets a little bit more speed and confidence in the bike. I think it's just lacking horsepower. The Hondas always have a little bit more struggling around here. Lee Johnson, David Sharp, James Hugenboozem, and looks like Scotty Moyle was out. I didn't see any yellows. It looks like Scotty Moyle was sidelined. I didn't see him coming in the pit, but tough reacher, premium.